Hello, welcome to ArtTutorialsOnline.com. My name is Paul Priestley and today we're going to be concentrating on the second in my series on pen and ink drawing. We're going to be using one of these, a standard pen. We're going to be using a dip pen like this one, and we're also going to be using a pen like this which I've carved out of a piece of wood. Yes, we're going to be concentrating on scribbling in this one. Yes, so let's make a start. We are going to use the same materials that we used in the last video, namely an edding pen, Winsor-Newton black drawing ink, a dip pen and drawing nib, and this piece of stick which I've carved into a nice flat point, as you can see. Now we're going to start by using a scribble technique, and you will notice that when we do the scribbling I am going round in almost like a figure eight position. Don't go side to side because it looks rubbish basically. Keep going round and round and round, as you can see here. Now as we build this up, as you can see, the more you go over something the darker it becomes. So you can make this almost like ball shape here appear to be three-dimensional simply by building up the tone layer upon layer, and we keep doing it. Use a dip pen now. Similar sort of effect, again scribbling round. Try to do it randomly. Make sure your wrist is moving and also your fingers are moving. Don't keep your hand very rigid, otherwise it doesn't work. Because don't forget, the lines need to look as random as possible. The more interesting you make the lines, the more interesting the video will become. Now, you can see here we're building up the tone again by going over and over and over, and if you look at that you see beginning to make something look three-dimensional. But you'll notice the texture we are creating is quite different from what was used in the previous video where we concentrated on straight line. Here again the scribble with the pen, with the stick, which again gives a much more interesting line. You can see here the line varies so much more because you've got a much thicker, bolder, dramatic point on the stick than you would have anywhere else. Remember, as I mentioned before, don't be too neat and tidy. Keep your marks spontaneous. That's what we're looking for, spontaneity. Now, sketching the section out, we'll just do similar to what we did before. Just draw a little shape here. We're going to scribble down the sides of it. Try and scribble over the light areas first. Imagine you're putting down the light tone and then you're going over that and adding the mid-tone and then going over that again and adding a darker tone, so you can get this element of making it look three-dimensional. But it looks much more random and much softer than if you're just simply using straight lines. Now once we've done that, we can then go and do the inner lip here, just to see this section here. You see, oh yes, scribble over that bit, and you've got something now that looks like a three-dimensional object. But the pen gives you a very fine line. You'll find with this dip pen that you get a much more broken line. You get a line that varies in thickness, and this is what makes the thing look much more interesting. So again, just keep dipping the pen, adding more and more ink, more and more scribbles, putting down the light tone first, then going over the area that you want to be the mid-tone, and then going over again to make sure you get the darker tone. It's a simple, straightforward process that we just follow the same process each time. You can make things, tidy the edges up a little bit by just scribbling very short scribble strokes along the edges. See the same thing again at the top there to make it look three-dimensional. Now with the stick, again, be bold. You know, you've got to be dramatic with this. Go for it. So you've got the sides in here, just a nice line underneath there, and then scribble again. You see, you'll get a much bolder line this time, as you can see, because you've got a much thicker line from the pen, so more ink is going down, so you get a much bolder, stronger effect. But again, keep building it up in layers. You see, as we're doing down here, so we're going down this little section here, putting the final layers. Now we're just going to put on a little bit of shadow at the bottom, but again use the scribble technique for this as well. So you're just developing it out in here, as you see there, just to make it look as though it's actually sitting on a surface. And do the same with the two pens. as we saw before. Now, you'll notice if you combine this idea with the previous video's idea, then we can get some really interesting drawings. And that's what we're going to do in the fourth drawing of this series. Hope you've enjoyed this one though. Good luck with your drawing. Thank you for watching Art Tutorials Online. I hope you have learnt something about using scribble techniques in pen and ink drawing. If you want to learn more about pen and ink drawing, then check out the rest of my series. If you're interested in other drawing videos, particularly ones designed for beginners, then check out my YouTube channel where you'll find lots of interesting videos designed just for you. Don't forget also to subscribe, and if you're interested in supporting the development of these videos and production of these videos, then please check out my Patreon channel. I'll see you in the next video.